Beneath the cold, humming lights of a hidden underground corridor, something inhuman was stirring. Steel doors, meant to never be opened, had been torn apart from within. What crawled out were not men anymore, they were monsters twisted by science, bred in silence, imprisoned and forgotten. These were the results of failed ambition and reckless experimentation, and now, released into the world, they carried only one instinct: destroy. Nam-san stood like stone, his breath steady, his fists clenched. Beside him, a battle-worn female soldier, eyes sharp and fearless, readied her weapon. There was no room for fear, no time for retreat. The shrieks of the mutants echoed down the corridor like a death chant. And then they charged. What followed was chaos. Bone against blade, skin against steel. Nam-san moved like a force of nature, dodging, striking, breaking. The sergeant fired with unrelenting precision, covering his flanks, kicking back anything that got too close. Blood sprayed across the concrete. Screams mixed with gunfire. The mutants were many and they were strong. But they weren't invincible. This wasn't just a fight for survival. It was a war against everything that had gone wrong in a world already shattered by disaster. In that moment, with their backs against the wall and monsters clawing toward them, Nam-san and the soldier weren't just fighting beasts. They were facing the consequences of mankind's hunger to control life. And they refused to be the next experiment. This is Badland Hunters, a world broken by disaster where survival isn't a choice, it's a fight. Deep in the ruins of what once was civilization, science has turned savage, and hope is buried under concrete and ash. But when monsters break free, not of myth but of man's own making, heroes are born from the rubble. Let's dive straight into it. 3 years after a massive earthquake shattered Seoul, what remains of the once glorious city lies broken and sunken beneath layers of dust and decay. Under the blinding light of day, giant concrete structures lean like wounded giants. Nature has started its slow reclaiming, but not fast enough to cover the desperation of mankind. Society has collapsed, and the government is a ghost of its former self. What's left of humanity fends for itself in the lawless rubble. In this harsh world, people barter for water, hunt for meat, and kill for medicine. Amidst the cracked remnants of the city, under the scorching afternoon sun, a rugged man named Nam-san roams the wilderness with a teenager named Ji-won. Both are survivors, but Nam-san is more than that. He's a hunter. Hardened by violence, built like stone and silent like death, he moves through danger with precision. Ji-won trails behind, eager and naive, holding on to whatever pieces of old-world morality remain in this savage new age. They aren't searching for hope, they're searching for wild boars. Meat is survival and they are hunters. They track a massive beast through a shattered building complex. Ji-won fumbles, but Nam-san handles it with brutal efficiency. Blood spills in daylight. Another day of survival is won. They drag the carcass back to their settlement, a crumbling high-rise, now a village protected by iron gates and watchmen. Among the people here is Suna, a kind-hearted 18-year-old girl who looks after her ailing grandmother. Her eyes carry more sorrow than youth, but she still believes in things like kindness. As the orange hues of evening set over the ruins, a large black vehicle arrives at the village gates. It isn't bandits this time. It's representatives from a so-called new government, or at least that's what they call themselves. They bring clean clothes, bottled water, and promises. They tell the villagers about a fortified apartment block where survivors are being taken. There's food, clean water, and medical care. It sounds too good to be true, and it is. Nam-san doesn't trust them, but he doesn't stop them either. He watches as Suna's grandmother, encouraged by hope, signs up to leave. The selected villagers board the armored vehicle and leave. Suna hesitates but follows her grandmother. Nam-san and Ji-won stay behind. Something about the recruiters didn't sit right. There was no joy in their eyes, only calculation. The journey to the apartment complex is long and winding, through broken overpasses and dust-choked tunnels. When Suna arrive, the building they see is massive. It rises like a fortress out of the rubble, its exterior almost untouched by the earthquake. Inside it's quiet. Too quiet. Men in surgical scrubs roam the halls. The residents are clean, well-fed, and unusually silent. Everything is in order, too much order for a place in ruins. It is daytime when Suna notices that no one here laughs or cries. The children are pale. The elderly are missing. Her grandmother is taken away for treatment. A doctor greets her with a friendly smile, Dr. Yang Jiaisu. He runs the complex. He says he's working to save mankind. Suna doesn't trust his smile. At night, Suna sneaks through the halls. She hears cries behind locked doors. She finds a young girl strapped to a bed, pale and unconscious. Dr. Yang is experimenting on human beings, trying to create a new kind of life form, one that can survive this new world without food or water. He believes he's saving humanity. He's actually destroying it. In the open fields, back near the village, under a sky streaked with light gray clouds, Jiwon asks Nam-san if they made a mistake letting Suna go. Nam-san says nothing. His silence is heavier than a verdict. Nam-san and Jiwon make their way through the dangerous zones of the ruined city. When they arrive at the complex in daylight, the front gate is sealed. They don't wait for permission. They break in through the lower levels. Inside, they find the truth: operating rooms with dead bodies, people in cages, test subjects with missing organs. Dr. Yang's dream is a nightmare given form. Jiwon is shaken. Nam-san is focused. They search for Suna. Meanwhile, Suna's grandmother has died. Dr. Yang speaks with cold confidence, claiming he's building a new Eden. Nam-san doesn't listen. They fight. Dr. Yang escapes. Jiwon and Nam-san carry Suna through the lower levels, pursued by the compound's guards. During the escape, a new ally joins them: Sergeant Lee Eun-ho, a former soldier who once believed in Dr. Yang's vision. He now knows the truth. He helps them navigate the labyrinth of tunnels beneath the compound. Mutated test subjects, locked away for years, are now unleashed. They tear through the guards. Nam-san fights a massive mutant in hand-to-hand combat. The walls shake with each blow. The mutant is finally defeated, crushed beneath debris. They keep moving. In the hallway near the elevator shaft, Dr. Yang tries to escape with his daughter's body in a steel suitcase. When confronted, he becomes frantic. He calls out to the dead girl inside the case as if she were alive. In the struggle, the case falls, snapping open. The decayed remains of the girl spill out. Nam-san approaches him without a word and finishes it. Morning light breaks through the upper levels of the compound. The survivors, what few are left, begin to leave. Thunder rumbles. Then for the first time in months, it rains. Heavy droplets soak their blood-stained clothes. The earth begins to drink. They walk in silence. Not because they have nothing to say, but because words can't rebuild what has been lost. But this rain is something. Not salvation. Not redemption. Just water falling from the sky. For now, that's enough.
If you enjoyed this video and want to catch my next movie, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Big things are coming, and you won't want to miss what's next. See you in the next one.